As of January 2015, the highly infectious Ebola virus is still taking its deadly toll. It originated in Africa. One of the first documented cases occurred in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo near the Ebola River, which is where the virus got its name. By far, its worst toll has been in West Africa, in Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Isolated cases have spread to the United States, to Texas, and beyond. Early symptoms include fever, headache, weakness, sore throat, followed by vomiting, diarrhea, rashes, followed by bleeding from the eyes, the nose, the mouth, even under the skin, eventually leading to the failure of various organs and death. According to the CDC, on average, 50% of those who contract the virus, if it is untreated, will die. And that percentage can jump as high as 90% in certain instances. To date, the World Health Organization estimates that 8,000 people have died, over 8,000 in West Africa, and over 20,000 have been infected. The threat remains, and if it is not contained, global casualties could be catastrophic. In the New Testament, in the book of Luke, chapter 21, verses 10 and 11, Jesus Christ looked down the stream of time and predicted certain signs that would increase as his return approaches. In verse 10, Jesus said, "Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be great earthquakes in various places, and famines and pestilences." The word pestilence jumps out. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines the word pestilence as a contagious or infectious epidemic disease that is virulent and devastating. Ebola certainly fits that definition. Of course, there have been other terrible pestilences and plagues in history, such as in the 1300s. The bubonic plague wiped out a third of Europe. And in 1918 through 1920, the Spanish flu killed 50 to 100 million people worldwide. Ebola is a pestilence, and it can reasonably be viewed as a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. There's no doubt about that. And we can expect more to come. The book of Revelation, in chapter 16, describes a series of 7 last plagues that will decimate planet Earth right before the return of Jesus Christ. The first plague describes boils on those who receive the mark of the beast. The second plague describes the oceans turning to blood. The third plague, the rivers turn to blood. Plague number 4, the sun scorches men with fire. Plague number 5 is darkness upon the seat of the beast. Plague 6, global demonic activity. And plague 7 describes a great earthquake and hail devastating the people of planet Earth. The 7 last plagues have certainly not started yet. The mark of the beast is still ahead of us. That hasn't come, and so the 7 last plagues are still in the future. And so Ebola is not one of those 7 last plagues. We might consider it to be a preliminary pestilence, among other pestilences, a warning to those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. Another wake-up call from a merciful Creator God who is speaking, he's still speaking to his planet, urging humanity to get ready that the final plagues are coming and that Jesus Christ is going to soon return. How can we escape Ebola? According to Dr. David DeRose in his book, Evading Ebola, Decrease Your Risk of Infection, Fare Better If Exposed, the best option is to build up our immune systems by living a healthy life. When the final plagues hit, those who follow God fully will be protected. And this, by far, is the biggest issue facing each one of us today. Psalm 91 in the Old Testament describes those final times and describes how God will protect his people who are completely on his side. Verse 1 says, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. In him I will trust. Surely he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence." When the final plagues and pestilences ravage the earth before Jesus comes, may God help us to be among those who say of the Lord, "He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust."
For more information, visit whitehorsemedia.com, where you'll find many valuable resources,